Welcome back to Pastry Maestra. I'm Teresa and today I'm making charlotte. Funny thing, today it's normal to have a few different versions of the same thing. You know, 1.0 or 2.0. But that is not a modern invention. The same thing happened with charlotte some 3 centuries ago. Yes, at first, in the mid-18th century, there was charlotte 1.0, which was English version of the dessert, and a few decades later it was updated to the French version. Let's call it charlotte 2.0 by the famous French chef Antoine Carême. Now, before I explain this in detail, a few words about charlotte in general. So, what is charlotte? Basically, charlotte in modern patisserie is a dessert made of ladyfingers or Joconde sponge cake, which is used for lining the charlotte mold, and Bavarian cream or Bavarois, or some other mousse set with gelatin. I have videos on both subjects, the links are down below. Ladyfinger sponge cake can be rolled or layered with jam, cut and assembled in the mold decoratively, and the charlotte itself is usually decorated with fresh fruits, chocolate piping, or other chocolate decorations. Now, charlotte 1.0 wasn't nearly so fabulous as is the one we have today. The 18th century English charlotte was made of buttered slices of leftover bread or cake, filled with apple compote flavored with cinnamon, and baked. Nothing glamorous about stale bread, right? There is a lot of doubt surrounding the origins of the name charlotte. Despite the fact that charlottes are served across Europe, one etymology suggests it is a corruption of the Old English word charlotte, meaning a dish of custard. Other historians say that this sweet dish took its name from Queen Charlotte, wife of George III of the United Kingdom. However, it is also possible that the name of the dessert had something to do with Alexander I, Tsar of Russia, and that is when charlotte 2.0, also known as Russian charlotte, comes to play. According to Wikipedia, Russian charlotte, or charlotte russe, is a dessert invented by the French chef Marie-Antoine Carême, who named it in honor of his former employer, George IV's only child, Princess Charlotte, and his current employer, Russian Tsar Alexander I. Wow, brain melt. Now, regarding technique, allegedly, Chef Carême was making Bavarian cream for some event, and he discovered that there is not enough gelatin available. So, in order to stabilize his dessert, he used ladyfingers as a support, and that is how charlotte 2.0 was born. Finally, just to make things more complicated, there are 2 additional desserts called charlotte Malakoff and charlotte royale. I will not get into details right now. For the time being, you should only know that both Malakoff and royale are upside-down desserts, very much different from our charlotte 2.0. Okay, no more theory. I'll teach you how to make a modern, beautiful and delicious charlotte. The recipe is on my site and the link is down below. The first thing I'm gonna do is make ladyfinger sponge. I'm gonna make French meringue, which means I'm gonna whisk egg whites to soft peaks and gradually add sugar. When my meringue becomes firm and glossy, I'm gonna mix in egg yolks. At the end, I'm gonna fold in sifted flour. I've lined my baking tray with parchment paper and now I'm gonna draw 2 lines 5 centimeters, which is 2 inches apart, and 2 more following the same pattern. I've put my ladyfinger batter into a piping bag fitted with 10 millimeters, which is 3/8 of an inch tip, and now I'm gonna pipe the strips and 1 disc for the bottom of my charlotte. I need to pipe ladyfinger strip that is the same size as the circumference of my mold. Since I'm using 16 centimeters, which is 6 inches mold, I need 51 centimeters, which is 20 inches long strip. And my baking tray isn't long enough, so I'm gonna pipe 2 strips and assemble them later. I'm gonna bake them at 180 degrees centigrade, which is 350 Fahrenheit, for about 10 minutes. Now I'm going to pipe the bottom. I'm doing it freehand without drawing a circle on the paper, because I will have to trim the spiral in order to fit it in the mold anyway. I'm gonna bake it at 180 degrees centigrade, which is 350 degrees Fahrenheit, for about 10 minutes. While my lady fingers are baking, I'm gonna prepare simple syrup. I'm gonna put equal amounts of sugar and water into a saucepan and bring to a boil. Once sugar is dissolved, I'm gonna remove it from the heat and let it cool. When my syrup cools, I'm gonna flavor it with kirsch liqueur. Now I'm gonna put acetate strip into my 16 centimeters, which is 6 inches mold. My sponge is done, and now I'm gonna adjust the strip so it is approximately 2/3 height of the mold. Then I'm gonna cut the edges of ladyfinger sponge strip, so when I press them into the mold, they fit perfectly and without seam. Now I'm gonna place the strips in the mold so they fit tightly. The next thing I'm gonna do is measure the diameter for the disc I'm gonna put on the bottom. I need to trim the disc so it fits tightly. Finally, I'm gonna soak the disc with kirsch-flavored syrup. My charlotte is now ready to be filled with Bavarian cream. First, a short explanation. You see, the main component of Bavarian cream is another cream, called crème anglaise, or English cream. Apart from that, Bavarian cream also consists of gelatin and whipped cream. Now, although I have another video and post about crème anglaise, link is in the description, I will also make it in this video, so don't get confused. I'm doing that just for your convenience, okay? Okay, let's start. The first thing I'm gonna do is soak my gelatin in cold water. If you are using powdered gelatin, put 4 times more water than gelatin and stir well to combine. If you are using sheet gelatin, as soon as it softens, take it out from the water and squeeze to get rid of the excess liquid. To make crème anglaise, the first thing I'm gonna do is put the milk, half of the sugar and vanilla powder in a saucepan and heat it up. In another bowl, I'm gonna whisk the egg yolks with the rest of the sugar until thick and pale, which is called blanching. When you put sugar on the egg yolks, stir immediately. Don't let that mixture sit because it will form lumps. My milk is hot, but not boiling. I'm gonna pour half of hot milk into mixed egg yolks and stir well. This procedure is called tempering. I'm gonna return the mixture back to the saucepan, mix with the milk that remained in the pan and put everything back on the stove. I'm gonna insert my digital thermometer and cook the cream over medium heat, stirring constantly until it reaches 80 degrees centigrade, which is 176 degrees Fahrenheit. I have to be careful not to overcook the cream because the yolks will curdle, and I will not be able to fix that. As soon as crème anglaise is done, I'm gonna remove it from heat, add soaked gelatin, stir well until it melts, and run through a strain into a clean bowl. Now it's time to whip the cream to soft peaks. I'm gonna cool my anglaise in a cold bath, stirring constantly. When my anglaise cools down and becomes thicker, I'm gonna pour it into whipped cream and mix to combine. There, my Bavarian cream is done. I'm gonna pour my Bavarian cream into prepared charlotte mold. It is important not to pour all the way to the top. Make sure to leave a couple of millimeters from the edge of the mold for the glaze. Now I'm gonna put everything in the freezer to set. While the charlotte is cooling down, I'm gonna prepare the glaze. I'm gonna soak the gelatin in cold water. Then I'm gonna put water, sugar and cocoa powder into a saucepan and bring to a boil. When the mixture boils, I'm gonna add the glucose and cook until everything dissolves for a few moments. Then I'm gonna remove from heat and add soaked gelatin. I'm gonna run glaze through a strain, cover it with cling film and leave it to cool. I'm gonna pour cooled glaze over the frozen Bavarian cream and leave it to set. My glaze is set. I'm gonna remove the acetate from my charlotte while it's still frozen. Now I'm gonna decorate my charlotte with white chocolate before serving. There, my charlotte is done. I hope you've finished yours so we can enjoy in silky Bavarian cream together. Bon appétit!
Oh baby, you are so sweet, so delicious and yummy, so good to eat. I wanna lick you. Feel your sweetness on my lips. Forever and ever, you'll stay on my hips.
I'm Teresa. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you liked it. If you want to stay in touch, follow me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, and of course, visit my site where you can find elaborate posts with lots of pictures, additional information and recipes that follow my every video. Also, on my site you can download my free 365 pages ebook, The Pastry Chef, and maybe buy me a macaron. If you think that I've earned it. Now, before you go, please hit the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That really helps a lot. Finally, and this is the most important thing, don't forget to create sweetness every day, because sweetness is happiness. See you in my next video. Bye!